Greetings, everyone. Well, let's not waste any time. Let's get right to it, shall we? More Halloween Blu-ray Blowout goodness today on the Multimedia Chronicles. Welcome back. Okay, carrying on with the Halloween blowout sale goodness. Let's start off with something truly Halloween-y in the Halloween spirit. This was $2.97 at Walmart. We have Spooky Sounds. Ooh, look how shiny it is. Yeah, look at that. Now, I've actually been a collector of Halloween horror tapes and CDs. Over the years, I have amassed quite a collection of them, starting with, when they would release them on audio cassette back in the 90s, and then carrying on as CDs now. Some of the audio cassette ones I collected back in the day were since re-released and remastered on CD. It was pretty cool. There's like a whole world of Halloween horror CDs out there that people just aren't aware of. They just see them around Halloween. It's like, oh, some cheesy sound effects thing, whatever. But no, there are people like me out there that actually collect them and have, a pretty good sized collection of them. One of these days I'll probably do a video about them. That'll be a perfect Halloween video to do. So here's one thing that was interesting about this particular one, is you can see how beautiful and shiny this is. There was also a non-shiny version right next to it. Same price. I don't know. I don't know why anyone would want the non-shiny version. I mean, the shiny version is, well, shiny. And we all like shiny things, don't we? I don't know. It was the same price, so as far as I was concerned, I was getting the superior packaging, so there you go. Alright, next up, a pair of remakes, actually. Now, remakes are so hit and miss. I mean, sometimes they're just, wonderful tributes to the original and very respectful and such, and other times they're not. Other times they're anything but. For example, the Nightmare on Elm Street remake from a few years back. I can't remember, did I actually do a review of that? Or did I just kind of talk about it in an update? I'm sure I talked about the movie in a video. I may not have called it a review, but I'm sure there was a review in there. But, yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street was disappointing. But, so I was kind of curious about this one, because I did a review of the original. The first one anyway. I never actually got around to picking up the second one. I still need to do that one of these days. But I did a review of the original a couple of Halloweens ago, and I really liked it. I thought it was really well done. So I was very curious about the remakes because I had heard good things about them. Plus the fact that the original creator was pretty heavily involved with them. So I thought, now that's interesting to me. The fact that he was involved in the process and had a very direct hand in supervising and keeping an eye on things. So I was really curious about that. We are of course talking about The Hills Have Eyes and The Hills Have Eyes 2, both on sale at Walmart for like $6.88 each. Unrated editions, both with quite a pile of extras, not too shabby whatsoever. So as for the original creator, I'm of course talking about Wes Craven. So on the first one, he was, I think he was just the executive producer. Or no, he was a producer. He was actually one of the producers. Yeah, so he was the producer on that. And then on the second one, he was once again a producer and also wrote the script. So he wrote this one. He co-wrote it with his son. Now, I had a double bill of these a few nights ago because I was really curious about them. I've been wanting to check them out for ages. And what did I think of them? Well, you'll just have to wait. I'm going to do a review and go a little more in depth on the Blu-ray extras and stuff like that. So look forward to that. Just wanted to show you that I got them in the meantime. And next up, another double bill, a couple that I used to own on DVD. And funny enough, I never got around to seeing the second one while I owned it on DVD. I have since rectified that. Had another double bill, actually. I think it was the night after this one, or maybe the night before, I can't remember. Now, funny enough, the aforementioned cold that I'm battling manifested itself full force while I was watching these movies, which kind of seemed appropriate, as they are about a rather virulent viral outbreak that's essentially wiping out the world. We're, of course, talking about 28 Days Later, and its sequel, 28 Weeks Later. Now, a lot of people talk about this and say, well, why the hell is this even on Blu-ray? Because the movie itself was actually shot on standard definition DV video tape. Basically just to give it sort of a I don't know, a more, not so much a home movie look, but I don't know, a more amateur, gritty, real world kind of look. Almost like you're watching a home movie, but not quite. I mean, there's still obvious production value there, even though it's produced using almost, you know, prosumer level equipment. But honestly, I mean, here's the thing. I mean, with Blu-ray, you're still getting, like, literally, I mean, this is a 50 gig Blu-ray disc, and the movie itself is 36,000 kilobits per second. Versus the DVD version, which would typically be around 6,000. So it's literally 6 times the bit rate for the same source material. And there is a scene at the end that was actually shot on 35mm film. And boy, do you ever see the contrast on the Blu-ray when you've been watching this gritty DV translated to film, translated to Blu-ray footage the whole time, and then you get the 35mm footage at the end. You're just like, wow, where did that come from? And you really see the difference more vividly on Blu-ray. So honestly, I don't think it's a waste at all to have it on Blu-ray. I mean, you're getting a much higher bit rate than DVD can give you. So if anything, it's at least representing the source material more accurately. I mean, it's not going to be the be-all, end-all of Blu-ray quality, but it is an accurate representation of the source material. And for that reason, I have no problem with it being on Blu-ray. Plus, it was like $5, so I'm not really complaining. And this was also like $5, so I'm not really complaining. Yeah, so I mean, why not? Why would you not want to have it in the best possible quality? Even, I mean, not every Blu-ray needs to take full advantage of what the format is capable of. As long as it's representing the source material accurately, that's the main thing. And in the case of 28 Days Later, it does. It does. I mean, it's never going to look better than that. It can't, because the source material doesn't have that quality in it. But I think it's fine. You know, so quit your bitching and moaning and stop wanting it to be something that it ain't. Next up, I need to get a couple more so I can actually properly marathon these. I've been wanting to catch up on this series for ages. I really enjoyed the first one, even though I thought the husband character was a real douchebag. I did a review of it a while back. And I still haven't seen the second, third, fourth, and fourth and a half one. And there's apparently a Japanese one as well that's supposedly part of the canon, even though you can't get it here for some reason. And there's an official fifth one on the way. I don't know when they're ever going to end, but regardless, again, my buddies Stoudman and Skinslip really enjoy this series a lot, and I do value their opinion when it comes to movies. And I actually did enjoy the first one, and I like this style of movie, so I've been wanting to see the rest of them. So I picked up Paranormal Activity 2 and Paranormal Activity, the marked ones. I jumped ahead to the marked ones just because it has the cool slipcover. If you take a look there, we have, you know, the nice slipcover. But it's this cool lenticular slipcover. It has a little bit of image creepiness there. Very cool. So I wanted to get this while the slipcover was still available just because it's so cool. So I still need to pick up 3 and 4, obviously. But at least I've got these 2 chapters. And it's funny because Stout was saying, again, being careful to avoid spoilers, that 2 almost leads into this one. So it's kind of funny that of all of them, I picked up these particular 2. Next up, this is one that I have not seen for a while. It's actually based on an Alan Moore comic. And to my knowledge, this is the only movie adaptation of one of his works that actually has his name on it. We have Johnny Depp and Heather Graham, and Ian Holm, actually, in From Hell, which is basically Johnny Depp trying to track down Jack the Ripper. Now, I remember liking this one, and, you know, it's kind of like, I kind of put this, I actually thought I was getting Sleepy Hollow. I don't know why. I saw From Hell, I thought Sleepy Hollow. And that's the one I was intending to get. When I was like, oh, wait a minute, this is that Jack the Ripper one. Okay, fine, whatever. I have seen it. It's been a while. I don't remember a ton about it. I remember thinking it was okay. So I don't mind having it in the collection, whatever. I mean, this is one that I would have picked up at some point anyway, so why not have that be now? And besides, I kind of like to revisit it anyway, because it's been quite a while since I watched it. And I do enjoy that type of thing. And then, of course, I picked up the sequel, the 3D sequel, a little while ago, and did a little piece about it. And funny enough, this particular movie was my first ever movie review on YouTube. Way back in 2007, I did a little blurb about it in one of my video blogs. It wasn't like an in-depth review or anything, but you know, I talked about it a fair amount. We have the movie based on the video game Silent Hill. Yeah. Now, I know, again, as most movies based on video games, opinions are divided on this. I really liked it, and I liked the second one, so sue me. In particular, just because I think they got the look and feel of it pretty much bang on right. Now, this one, next one is a reacquisition. I cannot possibly say enough good things about this film. I will say it again. Pandorum. See it if you haven't, and if you're looking for a good, you know, nail-biting, edge-of-your-seat, sci-fi, horror, thriller. This is really good stuff. Think of kind of The Descent in space. That's kind of how some people describe it. I think that's oversimplifying it, but I really like this movie a lot, and I've been wanting to get it back in the collection for a while, so I'm happy to have finally done so. And finally, this is one I've actually been wanting to get back in the collection for a while as well. This is absolutely one of my all-time favorite vampire movies. We have Interview with the Vampire. I just love this film. I used to own it on Laserdisc, and I played the shit out of that Laserdisc. I saw it in theaters when it originally came out, and yeah, so I'll probably do a video about this and just, you know, my thoughts on the film and whatnot at some point. But I've been wanting to pick up the Blu-ray for ages, just because this is a movie I know that I will enjoy revisiting again and again, and stuff like that. And yes, I have read the book. I've actually read the book a couple of times. I haven't read the whole Vampire Chronicles. I do have the first 5 books in paperback. I just haven't sat down and read them all. I got about halfway through the second book a while back, and then just never got back to it. So one of these days I'm going to sit down and actually read my way at least through the first 5. I know there's a lot more books that have come since then, and some sort of side stories and stuff like that. But at the very least, I'd like to read the first 5, because that's sort of the main original core series, and go from there. But yeah, there you go. Not bad. Getting some pretty good stuff. You know, some stuff in the collection for the first times. A lot of these are reacquisitions, actually. Like these 2 are reacquisitions. This is a reacquisition. This is a reacquisition in a different format. This is a reacquisition. I used to have it on DVD. Silent Hill I actually never owned. I saw it in the theater, and then I think that was it. I may have had the DVD very briefly, but yeah, I've been wanting to get it for a while. Hills Have Eyes, wanted to see for a while. Paranormal Activity, got to get 3 and 4, and then finally get caught up. And I also have to reacquire 1, but those are always cheap. I mean, I know that I'll be able to get them fairly cheap. I was tempted to get the trilogy set of Paranormal Activity. That's the first 3, but it's the first 3 bare bones, and I would actually be interested to get the extras on those, get some behind-the-scenes tidbits and maybe some deleted scenes, things, you know, the usual stuff. And maybe that good old "and more" special feature that I enjoy so much on so many other releases. And, you know, interactive menus, and scene selection, and full color, and sound. I love those special features. Alright, I'll stop now. Anyway, that is it from me to you for now. That's not it for the updates, though. There is more coming. I haven't quite decided yet if I'm going to put these up all back-to-back, or I'm going to sort of intersperse them between reviews. I don't know. We'll see. Whatever order you saw them in, that's what I decided on. Alrighty. We'll see you next time. Till then, thanks for watching, and sayonara.